What's up, everybody, and welcome to All for Footy, the AFL podcast where good friends gather and go about last week's games, this week's games, and everything in between. You can find us on YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify, so go please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm your host, Nathan, Mr. 9 out of 9 Norman.
Once.
Joined by the second best podcaster in the world, Daniel Big Daddy Reeby.
I see dead people.
Alright, also joining us is faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive. He can leap tall buildings in a single bound. It's the Man of Steel, Steelo. How are you?
Great to see you, Nathan.
Yeah,
Fantastic. Yeah. Great to be here.
Yeah, good. I love the Superman. I love Superman. Big Superman fan. So, I like the nickname. So.
I take that on board. Thank you very much. Love it, mate.
Yeah, the nickname's 100% plagiarism, but yeah. With that, we'll move on to if 3 people having sex is a threesome and 2 people having sex is a twosome, then this man is handsome. It's Ryan Wheels Benton. How are you, sir?
G'day, fellas. How we going?
Oh, better than you! Suck
yeah, I'm all right. I feel sorry for Steele. He's in for his second time. He's hooked now.
He's
just doing his number, building up his tally.
Great time. As long as the Lions win, mate, I'll be here.
Oh, that's it, mate. You can get in the winner's circle.
Yeah, that's it.
Is that your term and condition, is it?
Yeah, I'll take that, I think.
Yeah,
for
seems
sure.
to be a bit of a common thread.
Steelo, could you maybe move your mic a bit closer to your face?
Yes, no worries at all.
There we go.
Sounding a bit better.
What a
weekend of footy, though. What a weekend of footy.
Absolutely.
Wasn't it a corker?
Yeah, well, let's start off. We are doing a little bit of a topic before the show tonight. A little different. We're going to be looking at the ladder so far. We're going to be talking about the teams and where they're at, and maybe a bit of coach watch will be happening. Maybe. So without further ado, let's go on. We'll have a look at the bottom 10 first. We won't go on the top 8. So yeah, that's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Let's fade in.
Are we looking at the ladder because we're 1/3 of the season in, Nathan?
No, we're just looking at the ladder randomly. It's a random week that we're looking at the ladder.
Yeah, wow.
No, we're a third in. All right, halfway in, we'll do the ladder predictions.
1/3 already.
And yeah, we'll just go forward from there. And then second 2/3, we'll have a look again, and yeah. All right, well, let's start at the very bottom, shall we? North Melbourne. Oof, yikes.
It's a tough conversation, isn't it?
Yeah, well, let's get the tough one out of the way
surprises.
first.
North Melbourne, eh?
Oh, I mean, I don't think there's much to say, but it's a tough conversation. But
Hey, look, they've got Sheasel, they've got Zaha.
They've got some good stock there, and you just hope that they're on the right path with the rebuild of the full rebuild. But
they need a full rebuild.
Seems the same every week with those guys.
At the moment, they're fairly uncompetitive. But yeah, I mean, just interesting to see if they get a win this year. I mean, it looks like that at the moment, where they genuinely, you can't see them even pinching one. So very concerning in amongst obviously the obvious rebuild, but you know, you just even look at teams like West Coast, Hawthorn, you know, who are able to get around and get a couple of wins going, and North, I mean, yeah, it's so very tough. But
I just gotta imagine.
Give them time. I mean, there's some good players there, and I think once they potentially put it on the park a bit more, trying,
I feel like they need veterans. They need experience.
Yeah, they
it
really
seems like they're a team of
now
kids.
too.
It seems, and it's just like, well, where's the leadership? Where's the experience?
It's just got to be tough for all the members out there, the diehards. Like, shout outs to Caleb. Like, all those North Melbourne fans. Like, I know a few that have just tuned out pretty much,
it's
and
unfortunate.
like they're real loyal supporters as well. But like, you know, it's just you can't watch. Yeah, it's hard to watch. You know, as a supporter. So. Just ongoing scene. We'll see what happens with them going forward, but you know, they're definitely first cab off the rank for a merger at this point.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's for sure. 100%. That's for sure. Wheels.
Go Kangas.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the Tigers. I can't believe they're sitting second bottom, to be honest.
Nothing about North. Straight to the Tigers. All right, let's do it.
Yeah, well, we all pretty much know about North, isn't it? We've all said the same thing, all 8 rounds, and
Just in a league of their own. A league
Yeah,
of shit of
mate.
their own.
Dark times for them, but
They've played all the teams that they could beat. They've already played them for the most part, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So,
It's
Anyway,
it's going to be a
Richmond.
long couple of years. But I just thought I'd move to the Tigers. Just can't believe they're even sitting second bottom. I know they got the new coach and injuries, but geez, you'd still think they'd have a little bit more ticker than that, wouldn't you?
Bit surprising, really, to me. I didn't think they'd be that low, but hey, I'd be lying if I didn't say I didn't love it.
And is that with
Yeah.
one win or two?
One.
Just the one. So
Just the
against
one.
Sydney,
Really?
a game where
Big
they probably
scalp.
pinched it too. So
So insane that that's their one win.
yeah.
Freaking Sydney.
But they can still come out and surprise you too and get a W when you least expect it with the Tigers, can't they?
Well, they did with Sydney, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But that could have been. That's sometimes games just go that way. It's very weird.
Can I ask, what's been happening with Dusty? Is Dusty around?
Yeah, he played a good
Dusty's been-
game last week,
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah, he's been playing.
Yeah, he's been playing, but
The
you know,
question
it's
marks
not
will remain all year. He's out of contract free agent at the end of the year, and you can't help but feel the rumblings around.
go to the Cats.
I mean, he mightn't even know what he's doing, but there'll be offers galore, especially with Richmond at where they're at, and
And he's holding up with the injuries too, isn't he?
He's not too bad though. I mean, he's been playing pretty freely.
I think if the price is right, he might be the man for a couple of years.
Oh,
At
who
least
knows?
one year.
Who knows where he could end up, young Dusty? But I'm sure there'll be some
Oh, it'll be
some
interesting
offers
pass,
getting
sure.
drawn up at the moment. Surely, a few desperate teams out there like a Sydney,
Like St
or
Kilda, like
the
they're desperate.
Giants, and
St
Gold
Kilda's pretty
Coast,
desperate.
and all these teams out there that would love a Dusty in there.
Saints are pretty desperate.
Saints would, for some reason, you just cannot imagine him going to St Kilda. But you never know.
Hey, you never know if he's
Tom
if
Lynch,
he's
Tom
even
Lynch
gotta
is
go.
struggling to get on the park most days these times,
Tom
isn't he?
Lynch, yeah, I know, right? They really need him up and firing. But it's tough for Richmond. Down sitting at 17th.
Yeah, well, suck shit,
Unbelievable.
Richmond. All right, let's move on to Hawthorn.
The Hawkers.
2 wins, 6 losses.
Good form on the weekend though. Showed good spirit, and I think their path forward is a lot like North Melbourne's, where it's a bit of a full club rebuild with a few experienced guys around like Gunston and Bruce together again, and they got a few old heads there, but not many. And to get that win on the weekend gives the club a lot of good vibes, doesn't it? And proof that they're on the right path with a lot of great youngsters coming through. I mean, I watched the game on the weekend, and they had a lot of young guys that were definitely impressive that I didn't know a lot about.
Will Day back in the squad makes a huge difference to them.
Yeah.
And he's just going to be a future star for sure.
And somehow they're still attracting players to the club too, even though they're losing so many games. Like, they still get players coming in through the doors.
Yeah, I think a proud history helps with that, doesn't it? Where you can offer them success because you can say statistically we're due every half a decade. So they keep
They keep bouncing back.
They do, and statistics say that they'll probably get back somewhere up there in the next few years, just because they have kept doing it the last 20 plus years. But it'd be interesting with the Hawks. But it's 16, so at least they'll be happy with the 2 wins.
Oh mate, they've had 2 mad Mondays already this
They
year.
will.
No,
They'd like more, but I mean, they're 2. They're happy with those. Especially
I
the one on the weekend, it was great for the club. I mean, we all wanted the tip, but I was bloody happy to see the Hawks win just for the club. You don't like to see any club really bottom out for too long. I mean, if North got a win, we'd all be pretty happy for them. But
yeah.
and the Hawks getting a genuine win there on the
why not?
weekend. I thought, good on them.
Getting closer and closer, just becoming a stronger and stronger team every week, it seems.
Yeah,
And
with-
Sam
and
Mitchell, they're
some-
fighting for Sam Mitchell.
Yeah, they are, and some stiff injuries too. I mean, Sicily, barely keeping it on the park for the day, and
Yep.
he'll be out for a few weeks now. But they just
Hey, let's not touch on last week's games too much.
rode the bumps with a grin at Hawthorn. They did.
Yeah, well, I think another team that's gotten 2 wins only, but are probably happy about that. West Coast. Like, you got to think. Like, everybody was saying they were on a league of their own, a league of shit of their own. They were just off the map. And they've come out and they've had a couple of wins, ultimately against Richmond and Freo. Freo was a bit of a shock, and they really took it to the Bombers. But yeah, at the beginning of the year, they were just smacked. I think doggies by 80 points or something. But yeah.
Yeah, they've really found some form the last 4 weeks, haven't they?
They have. It's sort of like they're trying to play better to be like, Harley Reid, you want to stay with us, yeah? We're not a rabble. We're not a total rabble. See, we can play good footy. Stay with us. Because I don't want a Horn Francis situation, I don't think.
No, that's a good point.
I feel like that might be a part of it, but who knows? I really don't think teams go out there aiming to lose.
And they've got a lot of injuries too, and they're still getting in it. They're still in it. So.
No, exactly. All right, well then, 14th, Reeby.
Saints.
It's not looking good. It's not looking good for Saints.
Hey, what's that? 3 and 4, 3 and 5.
Well, 3 and 5.
3 and 5, yeah. So that's not too bad.
You're one up on West Coast.
If we can string 2 in a row together here against Hawks and Freo, that's pretty much our season doom or dash coming up, I feel. So, get back to 5 and 5, really re-steady, and then just hit up into the 8 in the second half of the year.
Yeah, well, you guys were off GWS by 1 point.
Yeah, really take it up
pretty big.
in the second half of the year. So
you did beat Collingwood.
That's it, 3 and 5.
It's just like 3 and 5, and those 3 are very odd. Well,
they've proven their game style can handle it, so you've just got to get it all together.
But the next 2 weeks, I feel like that's it for us. I mean, if we're coming in 4 and 7 and worse, then it's probably season over. But if we can get to 5 and 5, 2 wins, so we'll be watching on with interest.
The next sort of 6 weeks. The next 6 weeks is pretty good for the Saints, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely not the worst.
3 weeks, it is horrible. It's a nightmare for the Saints. They're going to go down
against Melbourne at the G.
We're going to see it. Aren't we?
Look forward to it.
We're going to watch it together.
I feel like we have to.
3:20 Sunday afternoon. Let's do it. But yeah, no. You've got a few easy games coming up. Hopefully. I don't want to say anything because
at the start of the year, if you said you're only 1 below Brizzy, you thought you'd be doing good.
Exactly, it's a great spot to be.
Yeah, but if you were saying you were 1 above West Coast, you'd be thinking you'd be doing bad. So, this ladder's all over the place this year.
Yes.
Anybody else to add before we move on to Brisbane?
No.
I just thought I'd be sitting high at the moment.
Let's move on to Brisbane, reigning premiers.
13th.
Didn't they win last week?
Hey, come on the Lions.
Nah, Steelo. Take it away. You guys have had some alright wins, but you've had some devastating losses, of course.
Yep, showing some form again, the Lions on the weekend. So, streaky, but on the weekend it was as good as ever. Just like a few weeks ago when I was on. Yeah. And, just playing good footy again.
Decent Suns, that's a couple of good wins.
Yeah, it's similar to last year when we were playing good footy and, over the past few years. So, Fags is stuck with the tactic of old. So, it's still, the boys are fired up for him, but obviously at home as well, at the Gabba. So,
They've got about 6 blokes that have done their knees. Can they recover from that?
Oh, mate. The injuries on the weekend.
They've
probably
got a
not.
very, very soft run. They could very well turn it around and make the 8 soon. They've got Adelaide. Yeah, sure, it's in Adelaide, but that doesn't matter now. That doesn't matter this year for some reason. Adelaide are just terrible.
The injuries have built up though now. So many of them, even early in the year, and then now you had another 4 on the weekend. It's just like, probably we will struggle, especially from where we are on the ladder at the moment. But
Adelaide, Richmond, Hawthorn,
and the wins,
Doggies, Saints. You've got a good run. Those are all winnable games.
Yeah,
we do have a few injuries, but
a lot of their injuries are out for the year.
Yeah, well, opportunity, and you've still got a lot of solid players. So,
but the boys are rising up, and there are some youngsters and some young guns that can fill the gaps for the time being until we get a few back. But
you've got to blood them for the future.
I mean, we've usually in the past we've had good medical staff getting the players back pretty quickly from injuries. So watch this space, I suppose.
Well, I think it'll be alright. As I said, next 5 weeks are looking pretty good for you guys. You can turn it around easily.
Come on, Brizzy.
Reeve, you had anything to add on Brisbane?
No, mate. Said it. We've said it.
We've all said it. We've
said
all
it.
said it. All right. Well, next
Nailed it.
is Adelaide at 12. 3 wins only as well. 5 losses. So
It wasn't looking good. It wasn't looking good early for the Crows, was it?
No, not at all. They
It
managed
bounced
to
back.
get their 3 wins in the last 4 weeks. So
And they look a lot better now too, don't they? They're playing good footy. They look a bit harder to play against now. They're
yeah, they really. But yeah, well, we'll get to the Port Adelaide game soon. But Jesus, that was a good win for them, and to knock off Carlton as well by 2 points. They've got some good wins as well. It's very all over the place, very unpredictable.
yeah.
Definitely.
But they've had
You
some
can
devastating losses.
You can definitely tell they're trying to like make their mark in the 8, though, can't you?
No, they're right in the mix now of teams that are a chance after the sluggish start.
So they're a lot more comfortable with their game style now and just executing it pretty consistently.
Yeah. No, well, yeah. We'll see. I don't know. It feels like Tex Walker's been off. Like he just hasn't been that good lately.
No, the other forwards have been stepping it up.
Yeah.
He's
Then
been
he's
made
solid.
Roy- he's made
He's
Roy's
a
line
five, though, but
retired.
he's been
so-
playing pretty well.
Tex has been great.
Has he?
Yeah.
I haven't
What are you
noticed.
talking
it.
about?
Yeah, he's
What am
he's
I
had a
talking
highlight
about?
or
I've been
two
watching
every
the
week.
games, bro. I've been
Yeah.
watching the games.
On the
being
weekend, he
like,
came
why
out
is
and
Tex
kicked the
kicking
first
about?
goal.
Could do
and he
more.
was-
Yeah, well,
It's always
how many
been a
goals
thing
did
with
he
He's
kick
been a
for?
real good presence. Like he's been doing heaps.
Yeah, well, I haven't been seeing it. All right, well, let's move on to another team. Unless somebody wants to say something. The Bulldogs, number 11, with 3 wins, 5 losses. Who wants to speak on behalf of Trip
I
P?
just keep getting disappointed by the doggies.
It really is disappointing. It really is.
I just
So-
never know to tip them or
Still
not.
sitting in 11th, so they're, just because of a disappointing result on the weekend. The Hawks played alright, and then I still think there's a bit of time needs to go into the Dogs. So, it's very easy to jump on week to week in someone when they're down, but
Three
A
wins.
lot of people say this team on paper is one of the best teams in the comp, though.
they are. They got some of the greatest players with the Bont and English and Ugle Hagen and Libber, and there's just a plethora of stars through their side. But when they're not on, are they? That's the concerning bit, is their difference.
I just think the engine room really
Yeah,
missing
well.
Josh Dunkley. And
They haven't beaten a top
Big
8
out.
team.
I mean, they've beaten a side by 80 and 60 points this year in St Kilda and West Coast, and then
Sure.
they come out and lose to Hawthorn. You just, you wonder. But
They haven't beaten a top 8 side.
well.
They just haven't.
yeah, Bevo at it again.
And they didn't have the hardest draw coming into the start of this year, so they would have really liked to have been up a little bit higher, I reckon, with what you call probably a softer draw coming into the start of the year. So it could be costly.
I do think they're in trouble. What about a bit of coach watch? You got some coach watch going on?
Well, once we get to it, the Doggies
Okay, all right. Well, once we get
may
to it.
feature.
Anybody else want to stand up for the Doggies?
Oh, I'll just say they can be a dangerous side. Later in the year, if they are set in the 8, you just never know. They could come out and surprise people, but yeah, they're a bit unknown, aren't they?
They really are. But yeah, I was gonna say they haven't. Yeah, you got to beat a top 8 side. That's it. You just got to.
Yeah.
That's in my eyes, anyway. All right. Well, let's move on. Number 10, Gold Coast with 4 wins, 4 losses, breaking even, as you'd say. Steelo, what do you reckon of Gold Coast?
Oh, after the weekend. It was.
They think they're shit.
They've been playing well so far this year. Honestly, so I think the Lions just played well on the weekend, and the Gold Coast played as expected, really. Just pretty strong. Their guns fired, but they're just not quite there yet. I mean, he needs a bit more time, Dimmer, with the squad, obviously, and they got to develop a bit more as well. Like, you can't rush these things, so maybe in 2 years they'll be a real force. But at the moment,
I don't think the ladder's a true reflection of the competition at the moment. I mean, I still think it
does feel like it's
took a bit of teething time with some of the teams with the buys early, and the next handful of weeks will really sort it out a bit more. But
yeah, well, once again, just like doggies, haven't beaten a top 8 side. So, meh, you got to do that.
What did the Gold Coast have? Have Gold Coast won a top side against the top side?
No, that's what I just said. They haven't won against the top 8 side.
I didn't hear that part. Sorry.
Yeah.
They're sort of sitting where you'd expect them to be sitting, aren't they? Really?
But they've beaten pretty much every bottom 10 side except for the doggies. So
showing good signs.
At least they, as Reeby, said a week back, at least they're starting to make a bit of a home ground advantage and all that too, and taking advantage of all that. So that's where you can start, isn't it, and build around that.
Yeah, but they lost away on the weekend, so the stack continues.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on to the last team just outside the 8. Number 9, Collingwood. 4 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw. Stings, doesn't it, Wills?
Yeah, they've got to be on the rise, don't they? I reckon they're going to keep slowly climbing up the ladder, mate, and just get their game happening. And, I can't see panic stations. I just reckon they're just a bit of a rough start, but, they're going to rise up. They'll be up there, mate. Can't write them off.
No, absolutely. I definitely would not write them off. They've still got it. They've still got some pretty good wins.
Yeah,
had some weird losses that they probably should have definitely won, but no, they've been not too bad. Not too bad, especially the last pretty much up until their St Kilda game.
I think McStay is going to make a big difference when he gets back. So things are looking pretty good up at Collingwood still. Definitely looking pretty strong.
And a lot of people wrote them off last week because they didn't have Degoe. I was like, what are you talking about?
One man's
they're a
not going to make a
solid
difference.
side. They've got like freaking the Dacos brothers, Darcy Moore, freaking Bobby Hill, Jamie Elliott. Like, come on.
They probably just don't have that.
Yeah, they're somehow doing it still, aren't they?
Last year they were winning all those close games, every one of those close games, whereas this year they probably just don't have that extra bit in them, that extra bit of hunt, because, after last year winning the flag, but still showing that they're right there. So if they just kicked another goal, they would have won it.
Yeah, no, true,
another couple of goals.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just like the only losses are the first 3 games of the year. It feels like, all right, they're on track now. They're on track. Yeah, it's just a matter of time before they get into the 8. And then when you look at their next few matches, it's Eagles at Marvel Stadium, Adelaide at the G, Freo at Freo, but, that's fine. Then Doggies at Marvel. Like, they've got a pretty easy run. They're going to probably get a lot of those victories. Then they got Melbourne, but then they got North Melbourne. So it's sort of like, that's a lot of wins. That's a lot of potential wins. They're going to make the 8. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to say anything about Collingwood?
Bobby Hill played pretty well again, just dominating.
Bobby Hill's great.
Just giving me nightmares, giving me shivers.
Yeah, he does what he does, unfortunately.
Have to take note of him after the granny.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Right, well,
He's blonde hair now.
let's move on to the top 8. Carlton, 5 wins, 3 losses. Who wants to go? Who wants to take this one? No one. No one wants to talk about Carlton. Jesus Christ.
They're doing pretty good.
It's hard to say much about any team at the moment, isn't it? And they're just...
Is it?
Oh, everyone's in the, whatever, They're all doing alright, aren't they, now they're in the 8, but... Carlton, just hanging in there a bit, but doing not too bad.
Oh,
they've got a big hype, don't they?
They've lost to what, Geelong and Collingwood?
Yeah, the last few weeks they've lost a few, so they're...
Collingwood, like...
Forward line's looking strong though. Their forward line's looking pretty good.
Yeah, we all knew what we were going to get out of them. It's definitely the next 2 months where we're going to really judge them. I mean,
yeah.
They really want to get through to the top 4 and play finals. They're not going to take much less.
I think it's very easy that they fall out.
And Port, you could say the same boat. Nothing's happened yet. They just got to qualify. But
But I will say,
Nathan's waiting for the banana peel.
So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward a little bit into the future, and it doesn't look too good for Carlton. They've got D's, Sydney, Gold Coast, then Port, then Essendon, then Geelong.
Oh,
Yeah, but they could win every game.
That's a tough run.
when's it play him again? We only played him 2 weeks ago.
Well, you're playing them again. All right, you're playing them again in June. But yeah, no, that's a tough run. Barring maybe
It's a
Gold
weird
Coast.
one that you play them again.
Like, we've got to run Carlton to the ground, all right. But yeah, no, they could very easily slip off, or they could just shock us all, string together a few impressive wins.
They've definitely got a big hype, though, don't they? There's a big hype around them.
Seems like they're building towards something. Seems like they're getting better.
100. All right, now we've also got in number 7 spot Port Adelaide, 5 wins, 3 losses, just like Carlton. I don't know about you guys. I'm not feeling Port. Not feeling Port, and now they've got like a number of bad injuries. Bell Pepper out for the rest of the year. Like,
Bell Pepper out.
the Bell Pepper.
It's a sad one.
Yeah, but again, they've got a lot of time in this year to, you're not peaking now. Last year the knockers they peaked a bit early. So I think we'll just really have to wait on Port. I mean, yeah, it's a bit hard, isn't it, now? But yeah, they're still doing not too bad. They're still winning a lot of games at home, and they're still in the 8. So it's not like they're not, they're not
Big Kenny
doing
Hinkley.
anything too wrong.
Kenny Hinkley treating them like he's a trainer, like he's their trainer, and just getting them right for the big race.
Well, that's a bit it. I think he's also got one eye on later in the year, and
Yeah, and really I shouldn't judge them too harshly. Like, the only losses are to their last loss was pretty bad because it was Adelaide, but then it's like Collingwood and Melbourne, and it's like, well, those are
That's
two good
fair.
teams. Like, if you're going to lose to two teams, it's like, at least they're up there. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on, spot number 6, Flag Mantle. Flag Mantle.
Rio.
Pretty surprising where they're sitting, isn't it?
Yes, very surprising, seeming a number of us have them bottom spooners.
Shaking it up.
Yeah. And I swear they just keep losing games when you don't expect it. Like, they keep losing games, but somehow they're still sitting 6.
Oh, look, they're winning games and we don't expect it. It's insane.
I know. Yeah, a bit of a shock.
Yeah.
they are playing good footy,
Good on
aren't they?
Freo.
Especially when they get it home. I mean, yeah, interested by Freo, and they're scoring really well now too, which is a good litmus test for their game style. Because for a while they were getting quite bogged down there, and they were struggling to score.
It'd be great to see a Freo up there.
Yeah,
Great to see a Freo up towards the top of the bottom 8, and just have a decent crack this year, and then next year they might be able to crack into the top 8.
flag mantle.
Yeah, but that lost to
But at the
West
moment,
Coast.
obviously, doing
It's
still 6.
They're actually pretty well. They're actually a pretty well balanced side, aren't they? Really,
So
They're-
interesting.
forwards, mids, and backs. Like,
They're just surprising. It's just surprising that they're winning. But then again, they haven't beaten a top 8 side as well.
Either. Okay, right.
So, yeah. Every time, and they lost to West Coast on top of that. So it's sort of well, could they be treading water?
it might be false. It might be false advertisement.
Yeah, I reckon it might. I reckon they might fall out of the 8 as well. So I feel like it's going to be. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. It really is. I think the middle is quite a mess this year.
Well, you reckon Collingwood will come in, so who comes out?
Yeah. Well, absolutely. All right. Well, let's move on to the next spot. The Bombers, the mighty Bombers, with 5 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw. Really overachieving this year, I reckon. Don't you think, Wills?
Firstly, I just want to know if our mate, listener of the pod, Brian Foote, I know he's an Essendon supporter, but does he also still follow Fremantle? Get back to us, Brian. We want to know, mate. Your two teams might be sitting right next to each other. So
I don't think he listens.
Oh well, get stuff then.
Yeah. Unless you're listening, in this case, we love you.
Well, I saw him comment on our Facebook, so that's what brought it up. Essendon's another one of those teams where they win when you don't expect. They're just so hot and cold, bloody. Yeah, they're doing well. At least they're up there, but I just don't know how they're going to finish off. But yeah, it's hard to say. But they just keep surprising me and popping up with the W's. So, and then another one with their team, they just keep getting it done. And their midfield Merritt's proven he's just a superstar, and I think everyone's just following around him. And
big Jack Pack Stringer.
Yeah, mate, the old Jack Pack.
But
yeah, they just keep surprising, just like Freo, don't they? They just you don't know if you'd want to play them or play against them. So yeah, tough one.
Also, have not beaten a top 8 team.
Wow.
Yeah, how surprising is that? I feel like they have, but they haven't.
I feel like you're saying that about everyone.
Yeah, I'm saying it about the ones that haven't beaten a top 8 side.
Wow.
That's it.
There's a few.
There is a few. All right, well, let's move on from the Bombers. Definitely overachieving at this point, but could still easily hang in there, I'd say.
Yeah.
They proved it on Anzac Day, I reckon.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on to the 4th spot, the top 4, the big 4. Melbourne, 6 wins, 2 losses. D's going strong. Flag contenders. What do you reckon, Reeves?
Absolutely.
Getting the flag this year?
Oh, they're playing very well. It impressed me. Didn't have them picked in my 8, as I'm sure you're well aware, Nathan. But
yeah, but you got the answer wrong. So the answer is yes, they're going to win the flag this year.
Well, they're a contender. I mean, I had Sydney picked as my... And I still like them. So, yeah, but Melbourne, I mean, they're right in the mix, aren't they? They're not doing a lot wrong. And I think, if they can just win a final this year, that'll be their big improvement. So at the moment, looking like qualifying well, but yeah, so it's still a lot to hold up. They put a lot of reliance on Max Gawn standing up all year.
He's doing well.
And he is doing very well, but I mean, there's still a lot of things that can play out in a season.
Legs 11.
A couple of the mids, that they rely on quite heavily to play week in, week out. Petrarca and Viney and co. So, go D's while they're up and about and they're running hot. There's definitely not many teams that can stop them.
Yeah, well, we are running into a couple of them coming up soon.
Looking so strong on the weekend. Jake Lever as well, just leading the charge. But the guys were just looking like the Melbourne of old and looking formidable.
Yeah, well, we were also looking pretty bad. I think it was like... Yeah, we'll get to it.
No worries. I'll be happy to dive into that.
We will.
I reckon I had D's at least sitting top 6 in my ladder prediction, so I'm pretty happy where they're sitting. I thought they'd be about here. But you just never know what you just never know what forward line they're going to go with too, do you? Like each week, who are they going to pick?
Versatile.
Well, Turner got 3 goals last week in his first game, so
yeah, mate. Oh, and he got the right? Is that the guy? Oh no, that wasn't. Yeah, Turner was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it?
2 weeks ago, yeah, last week. So
yeah,
that's what I meant. But it's who knows?
It'd be a pretty happy household there at the Normans.
No, always yelling at the TV still. Melbourne never does. If Melbourne makes a mistake, even if they're 10 goals up, there's yelling. It just is what it is. It's what it is. But yeah, got a pretty mixed bag of an upcoming round. It's like a Carlton. It's like, all right, that's tough. Then Eagles. It's like, oh, cool. Then Saints. All right, that's tough. And then Freo. I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then Collingwood. That's tough. And then North. So it's all like, up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
Is that the first time you've played North or second time?
No, first time, I think. Yeah.
It's the first time. Yeah, thought so. Yeah.
I could be wrong, but yeah, no, it's it's looking good for the D's. We're on the up. We're on the come up, as they say, as the kids say. All right, let's move on. Enough about Melbourne. Number 3, GWS Giants, 6 wins, 2 losses. They were undefeated not too long ago, I swear.
GWS.
People are catching them out.
That's it. And, Tom Green went off, like, straight away.
Yeah.
And is he out for a bit? I felt like that was pretty bad. Nobody knows?
Yeah, they're doing so well, though, really, aren't they? For a team that you probably don't know who half the players are, they're bloody doing well.
And what? They're 2 losses to Sydney and Carlton. That's fine. You're still in a really top position if those are your 2 losses.
They're definitely dangerous.
And and they weren't. Oh well, look.
That's it. They can't win every game. They can't win every week, but I'm still looking the goods for now. I think.
Oh look,
wouldn't be jumping off them.
It's a tough competition. Every team's got a loss.
It's good to have a loss along the way, isn't it? Just keeps your feet grounded.
Yeah. Keeps a reality check in.
Yeah.
I do think it is between the top 4 in the comp.
The comp keeps more even.
It's not even. The top 4 are gonna run shop. Don't worry.
Feels like there's a bit of a pull away with the top 4, doesn't it? But
just a bit. All right, let's move on to the next team. Number 2 on the ladder, Geelong. Wheels, 7 wins, 1 loss.
Yeah, good on the boys. Wow.
It was 1 loss.
Definitely wouldn't have picked this. Definitely wouldn't have picked this at the start of the year. So I'm pretty happy with the boys and got a bit of a different game style. And got such a young. We actually got quite a young side now. So very happy at the moment. But just watching the guys in the next 4 to 6 weeks to see how they track. But yeah, I'm happy. If we can stay in the 8, I'm happy, mate. And so's the club, I reckon.
Yeah. Well, just so you know, Wheels haven't beaten a top 8 side.
The Wheels haven't.
No, I'm joking. You beat Carlton.
There you go.
But they are 8. So next week, maybe. Next week, you might not have been beaten a top 8 side.
Yeah, I know.
That is a pretty good run for you guys.
Right.
I think that just means your run ahead is probably going to be a bit troubling.
Yeah, that's right. I think I've been saying it for the most of the year. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how you go. And I'll be back in Geelong. If it's not going to be Melbourne, it's got to be Geelong.
That's it, mate.
That's it. And number 1, main contenders, Sydney.
How's that? The two grand finalists from 2022 are up on the top. Interesting.
That's it.
Have they had a nice fixture so far as yet? Have they been looked after a bit?
Sydney.
The Swans?
No, I don't think so. I think they've had some pretty tough matches.
They seem to be travelling around a fair bit.
Yeah, no. Well, Gold Coast, West Coast. Yeah, they've had a bit of an easy run. But Collingwood, Melbourne, they started off with Collingwood, Melbourne at the beginning of the year, so...
That's true.
That's pretty tough.
And Giants.
Yeah, man, they're just not falling off, Sydney. I think everyone expected them to do a little bit worse than they are this year, but they just at it again.
It's
almost going better without Buddy.
No, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. Post Buddy's looking pretty good, isn't it?
Save a bit of cash.
Five more forwards.
Flag favourites. But I thought Geelong were flag favourites last week.
Nah.
That's the thing. But yeah. Alright, no worries. Well, let's move on to last week's games. Alright, it was Adelaide versus Port Adelaide at Adelaide Oval in the Derby?
It is.
Showdown, mate.
Showdown.
Alright. Adelaide 12-6-78. Port Adelaide 5-18-48. Port Adelaide kicking themselves out of it, don't you reckon, Reeves?
Oh, they really did. I mean,
It's insane.
Adelaide really rocked up to play, though. I mean, Tex coming out and kicking the first goal and really setting the tone for the night. And, I was pretty impressed with Adelaide. I thought that their game style really matched it with Port all night. And, leading at all the breaks and just never gave Port a look in. I feel like 3/4 time the game was over. And they really put their authority down. And, I don't think Port saw it coming a bit as well, where they probably a bit of inaccurate kicking. But just Adelaide were just up and about with their intensity and Port a little bit battered and bruised now, and you see them sitting down at 8th on the ladder, and it can happen quickly where a team like Adelaide, who have been down a bit, just get a bit of a sniff of the rag, and they just were never going to get beat from probably half time onwards in that game. So real massive hats off to the coaching staff at Adelaide and all. They just Isaac Rankin, probably one of my favourites of the night. Like, he kicked 3,
played very well,
but he's had a really good touch on the game, and his footy at the moment, I reckon it's helping them move forward with new guys like Rankin coming through, and he's a real player of the future for that club. I reckon Rankin, he's really one to keep an eye on.
How old is he?
Jake Saligo as well really played well on the night,
he got the best on ground award, didn't he?
Did he? Yeah, I mean, he had 10 tackles to go with his 28 plus touches I think he had, and
Rankin 24.
Yeah, Rankin was huge, and so strength to strength for the Crows with a really good win, but Port, I mean, tough to judge them too harshly when they put it all on the line, and they had a crack, and like you said, a bit of inaccurate kicking, I reckon, probably cost them being in the game, where they probably weren't playing off the charts bad, and then once it all fell away, it all got a bit too far for them, but they're going to have to regather quickly. I mean, they head down to the Cattery next week, and it doesn't get any easier, and with a few real key players missing, all of a sudden they just look a little weaker down back without Aaliyah, and
He should be back next week.
So it'd be real tough. Back for the Cats game, or?
Yeah, he should be. Yeah.
Oh, okay, right, but so they're really going to have to back up with a win soon here, and it doesn't get any easier for them. So
doing some goal kicking at practice, I think.
Yeah, I reckon.
they better be. They freaking better be.
Yeah,
And,
there was one stage during the third quarter, Port kicked 7 behind straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did notice that. Yeah,
it was heartbreaking stuff. Like, it was theirs to lose, and they lost it.
They do back up with a 9-day break. Come into the next game, but
and should Rosie have played too? I think the coach has said that he did it wrong, put him in the side with Rosie.
They've kept that pretty quiet, haven't they, during the week? It hasn't copped a lot of attention, that, but that's got to be one. Well, I mean, yeah, look, they obviously picked him because he was right, and then for him to have the issue, I mean, I think they'll learn a bit out of that, won't they?
Rosie just a bit too eager. Must have been telling him he was feeling great. And,
you knew.
Just in good form and everything, and the showdown. And whatever.
I'm not going to say I knew, but I knew.
Pretty nasty in the end, yeah. But
saying he'll be out for a month now.
Yeah, sorry, old Port. They kicked more behinds than they kicked the same amount of behinds as scoring shots Adelaide had, and they still lost by 6 goals.
You watch. Port won't miss a goal next week. You watch.
Yes.
They better not. All right. Well, with that, I'll move on to the
I was just going to say. I think with the show. I was just going to say with the showdowns. I'm pretty sure it's. I think it might be Adelaide 25 against Port 24. So they've played each other like nearly 50 times. So the ledger's pretty even.
No. I have updated stats on that there, Wheels.
Oh, wow.
This just in.
It's a rare miss from Wheels there.
Oof.
So pre-game it was 27 apiece.
Oh.
Yeah, so Adelaide getting the victory, putting them to 28. So yes, that was the 50. 50.
I'll have to go back to my resources.
You will.
There might be a couple of years off.
Sounds like it. All right. Well, and of course Bell Pepper out for the rest of the year. Terrible. Friend of the show. We're here for you, buddy. We're here for you. Alright, let's move on to the next game. It's Collingwood versus Carlton at the MCG. Carlton 12-7, 79. Collingwood 12-13, 85. It was Collingwood by 6 points. Steelo, how'd you watch this one?
I had Carlton tipped to win it. Thought Carlton were going to come through with the goods, but it was an intense match in the end. I mean, Collingwood just proved that they were the best team out there, really, because, Carlton's been hitting some form, and Collingwood's just come out and played premiership winning football and just asserted their authority pretty well. Like, you could pick a few mistakes. Like, they're still not they're still far from September, but yeah, just came out and got the job done against the Blues.
100%. Yeah, well, it's just weird. Carlton had the largest lead of the game, but it was, always within grasp. Collingwood just had a great second quarter, but caught them right the way back up, and then it was an arm wrestle until the end, and Collingwood prevailed. Thankfully for my tips.
It was the explosion from the clearances that the Pies got over though. What was it? I think Carlton out of 40 only scored 22 points, and out of Collingwood with 44 clearances scored 44 points. So they really converted when they had to. And Chris dominated in that area on that night too.
Yeah,
absolutely dominated. But what did we have? What did we have for the crowd? Numbers.
88,500.
Yeah, I believe it was about 89.
Yeah, I got it right.
I believe I was right.
I was
Can't hear you, Nathan.
I was right with 94 and a half. I think I went with. I had the lowest, so technically
nice.
I was
Well,
right.
good work.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. But yeah, I think also very interesting to see on the night just the win from Collingwood being sealed by Dacos, and just the play when they broke down the play a little bit from Dacos at the end. He actually had a bit of close check on him from the Carlton. Can't remember who it is right now. And
I think it was who did he run off? Oh, what's his name? The guy that had the crook back. Walshy, Walshy, that's it.
So he's on Walsh.
Yeah, Walsh, yeah.
And they had a bit of close check on him, and he was right on his hammer. It's not like Walsh was letting him go to the races. He sat there, tried to block on him.
That's right.
He got around him at pace. Walsh had no hope of keeping up with him. So he's just broken it at real good speed, and then eluded another tackle before getting it on the boot in a split second. If you break down the play, it was immaculate and it was highly skilled.
And bent it the other way as well.
Oh, and what a kick! Just to nail it.
They reckon it's not even a set play. That's just instinct.
He just ran, and he was on the move, and it was just his will to be on the move and make something happen in the play, and his speed just off the. It was really just a play for the ages, wasn't it? And nothing said about it. He just did it. And off they went to the races. Yeah.
And he got the
got him best on ground, didn't it?
Oh, he got the medal as well.
Did he?
He got best on ground.
Good on him.
What was that, Wheels?
Yeah, I was saying the same as Steele. I said he got the best on ground as well.
Yeah, no, well, he can do that every
How
day.
could
But
you
sometimes
not?
he gets shut out altogether. So it's very, very hard to pick his.
It was good to see another number 33 kick a goal for the Pies. Lachlan Sullivan, first gamer. I think he was mid recruit, and he's come out and he's done a presence straight away. The young guy, so good on him. Number 33 is back for the Pies.
Congratulations.
Slotted straight in, didn't he?
Very well done.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, let's move on to the next game. It was Sydney Swans versus the GWS Giants. At the SCG, it was Sydney 14-14-98 to the Giants 10-9-69. Nice. Wheels, what do you reckon?
Didn't the Swans take the W off the Giants?
Yeah.
They were just the Greater Sydney, not Greater Western Sydney. But
New South Wales dominating the comp.
Hey, buddy, what a game, man. Bloody hell. You had people getting knocked out everywhere. You had just the typical Sydney midfielders dominating. Like I think we've said it every week: Golden, Warner, Heaney, and then their forwards are popping up a little bit, but they just keep doing it every week. The Swannies, and they're going in against the red hot Giants, and I think the Giants were missing a couple, but what a tough game. Sydney just showed why they're who they are at the SCG, and what would you have?
Tom Green out. Bam in the first quarter. Like, just...
Yeah, he got injured, didn't he? Green got injured. McCartan got another concussion for the Swannies, so he's had a couple now, a bit worrying times. But, yeah, I just think... Yeah, I tipped the Swannies, so I sort of thought they'd stop Giants' run, their powerful run, and that's pretty much what they did at that tight ground. And, just a really solid win from them. So they're just getting it done, the Swannies, with the young midfield. And, great game. Good game to watch. Grundy's playing well again, always.
Yeah, Grundy's doing well.
We just keep saying the same people every week, so...
He's gotten into his own. We should have kept him in the reserves.
Hey, same players every week. How consistent?
Hey, the D's VFL team is doing very badly right now. We're on second.
Yeah, and Sydney are doing well. So where do you think you'd rather be playing?
Yeah,
must be going off. It must be going off in New South Wales at the moment, I reckon.
Yeah, no. It's a tough comp. It's a tough comp. But also I just want to update. Tom Green sustained a broken arm, and he will miss the remainder of the season. So he's just gone. Like, that's it.
Wow!
Oh no!
One of the best midfielders just gone for the year.
The bull. They're going to have to change the stand on the wing, Reeby.
I know. I was just thinking that. I'm like, what happens to the thing next week at the big game?
What happens to the thing?
The marquee they've set up at the wing with the Tom Green.
They've got another Green in their side, so they might be all right.
Maybe they just changed the first name.
That's not how that works.
I'll have to do something.
They've only got to change 2 letters, actually. Just take the M out and put a BY in front of the thing, and that's it.
And the E.
Oh, yeah, extra E in the thing. But,
I'll do it.
very tough. He was going to be a Brownlow contender too, I reckon. And
the ball.
Yeah, he was playing that good a footy, wasn't he?
God, I can't believe he's out for the year. All right.
Yeah, no, broken arm. That'll do it.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, it's
there
tough.
You go,
it's tough. Oh, well, let's move on. Wait, I don't want to do it like that. Best of luck. Get well soon. Get better. Come back.
One of our favourites.
Alright, now let's move on.
I'm glad you covered
I don't know. It felt weird to cut it. Anyway, transitioning. It's hard, alright? St Kilda versus North Melbourne at Marvel Stadium. It was St Kilda 15-13, 103 to North 10-5, 65. Mr. Daniel Big Daddy Reeby, what do you have to say for yourself?
Check us out, mate. Buddy. Giving out shirts in the bloody alleyway, we were down at the club during the week chatting to the coach, and we're all pretty excited about the big game, big prospect of North maybe winning their first game of the year. You got to take these oppositions at their will. But the boys were able to dispose of them through the third and the fourth quarter, and got the big win. And it just was exciting just to be there on the day with a few past players, and really made the most of it. And really celebrating a 3-week window of games that we're expecting to win. So
Were you a bit worried when they were up by 18 points at the start there, Daniel?
Definitely, just a little bit. Started to wonder about what if cricket might head over to England and watch a bit of county cricket for a few months. I
think Rick was thinking the same.
You can't. You're trapped.
No,
Got pretty dark.
Yeah, it was a bit dark in that quarter time. But look, the boys, to their credit, all they had to do was get their game going and play the footy that they know they're capable of playing. Stayed patient with the game style. North do offer an arm wrestle for a while there, and they sort of got through it, and then were able just to progress and find a bit of space and run the footy around pretty well, and it all looked nice and rosy for the second half. So
good to see Mason Wood back too, mate.
It was very good. Good player, Mason. And, but interesting next 2 weeks in a row for the Saints.
Yeah, well,
Saints beat
North Melbourne.
Me and Nathan were having a discussion. Do you reckon Jack Sinclair should bring the mullet back or keep it off?
Oh, bring it back.
Mullets are gross.
Oh, mate.
Mullets are gross.
I'd bring it back, I think, for him.
No, I don't like mullets on anybody. It's horrible. I remember MacGyver. I remember that back in the day. Horrible mullets. Oh my god.
You remember MacGyver?
I remember MacGyver.
He doesn't look like he runs as fast without it, though.
Yeah, well, I'm not very happy about the resurgence of mullets in just Australia. I really don't like it. But
Just in
but,
Australia.
hey, people don't like my hairstyle, I'm sure,
problem.
so I'm not gonna.
Kingy needs to find a bit of form too, Reeby.
Yeah,
well, you know,
he's
not
got
the-
it.
yeah.
He'll work back into it. I mean, he was out for a couple of weeks there, so I think he'll be right.
Yeah, look,
He's
he's
one
not-
good bag away from a bag,
yeah, he's one bag away from a bag.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
and
He's
it
got
could
no
be
bags.
this week. So
Yeah, well,
Hopefully.
unfortunately, there is the better king. So unfortunately, he's always going to be in his shadow.
oh, you mean
Shame.
B King?
The better. Yeah, the B stands for better.
No, Ben.
Better.
Ben.
So maybe he has
Definitely
the
better.
bag during the game and not afterwards.
That's it. The better king. That's what we're all about.
I
All
feel like
well,
Steelo's joke went under the table
Just
there, but it was a good one.
They needed the win just to get themselves going, the Sainers.
they did. They needed that win, and against North, you fucking better get it. And but it was a good one. It was a good one.
Thanks,
Congratulations. You know, hats off to you. Hats off to you. All right. Well, there's not much else to say, so we'll move on to the next game. It was Melbourne versus Geelong at the MCG. It's Melbourne 10-14, 74 to Geelong 9-12, 66. It was Melbourne by 8 points.
Unbelievable.
Loved it, Wheels. I got this tip. I loved it. You got this tip too, didn't you?
Got the tip, mate.
I got the tip.
Yeah, we all got the tip.
Come on, boys! I'm still celebrating, fellas.
You got the tip. It's a win-win.
Hold on. Did we lose?
You did.
Yeah, you lost.
He hasn't watched
Oh,
it
this
yet.
wasn't part of it. This wasn't part of it. Oh, fuck this pot. I'm leaving, boys.
No,
Oh
He hasn't watched it
I
yet.
thought about that.
He just expected the W.
no! He was busy. He was
Oh well, we can do the wrap.
It was Netflix and chill on.
How good were the D's, Nathan?
Oh man, it was.
The D's were awesome.
I
Congrats.
feel like they weren't too good at the middle there. I feel like neither team was very good, with no goals kicked for 40 minutes.
Well, more importantly, how was Cameron missing those 2 goals right at the end?
What
I mean,
was wrong with him?
have you ever seen what you call a great player miss such an easy goal?
No, it was all due to Melbourne's pressure and
Great.
Melbourne's defence, and
Well.
look, Geelong was shook.
They
Geelong
were
was
set
shook.
shots, Nathan. I mean, they were as easy as
Yeah.
they get, straight in front. And he kicked them out on the full, just to really help you out.
Yeah, well,
Well, you would have been laughing,
We-
chuckling when that
we
happened.
missed a lot of easy goals as well.
Yes.
So, you know,
It was quite a night of footy, though, wasn't it? And the D's intent.
so
I
terrible.
knew it pre-game. I said, you know what? All they're going to have to do is shut down Cameron and nullify his output, which they did for 3.5 quarters until the end, where he single-handedly had no input. Yeah, it was.
Have you changed games yet?
Not yet. No,
I'm out.
Alright. Yeah, no, yeah, look, what can I say?
and
Like,
a stand-up applaud as well to Maxi Gorn. I mean,
Maxi gone.
Maxi Gorn just did it again. He does it week after week at the moment, and I'm not going to stop shouting him out.
Oliver's back.
What a goal! What a goal from him in the last quarter.
Oh, Maxi, when he kicked that one at the start of the last quarter, wasn't it? And,
Yeah, mate.
yeah, he's really just playing such a giant role at the moment, and he's just killing it. And go Maxi and go the D's.
I had this whole notepad written up for the game, and it can get stuffed.
Rip it up, rip it up.
Burn it, set it alight. Yeah, no,
It was a bit of a grueling game, really, in the end.
Yeah.
How was it?
Stephen May killing it. Love to see
May
it.
and
Jake
Lever,
Lever.
May
Our
Lever
defence is
dominated.
great.
Is it
Lever
Caleb
stood up big.
Caleb Windsor?
Yeah, yeah. He's a
How's
good
the
little
young
kid.
fella?
Yeah, he's doing well. He's stepping
He
up.
got wins. The Windsor not got the rising star. Yeah.
Yeah, and like,
Yeah, no, he's
how would
doing
you
well.
feel, you know, when you got your number 6 and on your left you got number 5 Locker of Christian Petrarca and number 7 Viney on your left and your right? You know, you got pedigree through the roof and you're a first year player.
Yeah, 1 goal, 2 though. Those 2 misses.
Yeah, but he's
We've got a lot of
playing.
misses.
You know, he's playing and he's in there and he's super keen. I heard an interview with him today and he's just oozing enthusiasm and he loves the Melbourne Footy Club.
Yeah.
And,
sure.
you know, he's
right.
going to learn a lot with those 2 blokes on his left and right at his locker booth for the next 5 to 7 years. So go Windsor. Good
How
pickup.
good was,
Yeah, no, it's good
how good
looking.
was Petty, Nathan? How good was Petty for you?
Yeah.
Far out.
Yeah, it was about time because he's
And do you know what?
Kicked a lot of behinds, but
It's the first time I've seen Van
one goal
Ruin.
one. But yeah, his presence was pretty. His presence in the forward line was good.
Van Ruin just didn't actually end up doing a lot on the night, did he?
Yeah, unfortunately, Van Ruin has dropped in my estimation.
He's really dropped. You said it last week.
Yeah.
I didn't quite believe it, and I was watching him on Saturday night, and although you got the win, he just kept not getting the play,
two
and he
behinds,
missed the handball, or he...
7 possessions.
And he notably, it's like he's lost a run of the play at the moment.
Van ruined it a bit.
Yeah.
I saw what you did there.
Because when he first came through...
He's really dictated play.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dean's really dictated play, I get that.
Do you reckon Bailey French's goal could be one of the goals of the year, Nathan?
Goal of the year so far, I guess. It was.
Wasn't that a fun goal?
Yeah, that was really good. The fact that people stopped chasing him because they thought it was out, and he kept it in.
Oh, it's perfect.
It was such a tight angle.
And then it just went...
such
I seriously couldn't believe that both sides went without scoring a goal for 40 minutes, man. It was
insane.
How shocking was that?
Oh man,
shocking.
I hated it. I was like, well, at least they're not scoring, but come on,
Shocking.
Kind of suspenseful.
Oh god, yeah, it was suspenseful. Absolutely, it was insane.
I've got the coaches' votes here for the game too.
Go for it.
You got
Oliver?
8 votes,
Mate?
Maxie Holmes. 6 votes, Zach Guthrie. 5 votes, Jake Lever. 4 votes, Peckett. 3 votes, Gorn. 2 votes, May, and 1 Petty. There you go.
Where's Oliver? Oliver should have been in the conversation.
Oliver got the touches, man, but he didn't really do heaps with it, and he kept getting tackled.
He was
getting hold of the ball.
He was also getting tackles. He was still a force. He's still all over the place, and he was.
I know. They got Petracca and Oliver both got heaps of the ball, but they weren't really that outstanding, were they? I think other players just outstood them. But,
look, I felt like it was our forward line that really let us down with the bad kicking, but I feel like our midfield did well enough to dominate the Cats. Dominate.
And like Reevy said, man, Jezza, holy shit, he was shocking, man.
Never seen anything like it.
2 absolute sodas in the last quarter.
I've seen full backs have shots at goal better than that.
Mate, and Hawkins hasn't kicked a goal in 4 weeks.
He's playing his 350th this week, isn't he?
354 all-time club record.
I think it's actually because I've got a theory on this, and it's because olive oil is so expensive at the moment, so he's had to change the oil that he's using. I think he's using a different type of oil,
It's creating a little bit of a
and it's fully changed changed everything up. He's changed his whole technique.
It's taking him a month.
Bit extra slip.
Yeah, well, the friction can cause some troubles.
There had to be something.
It has to be something.
I reckon you could be onto something there, Steele.
Right, you heard it here first.
You heard it here first. All right, well, let's stop jacking off Melbourne. Even though I love to jack off Melbourne.
It was good getting the tip, though, wasn't it, Nathan?
It was good getting the tip. A lot of people took tip Geelong. Really moved the shit. Hey, but we'll get to the tipping results in a bit.
Suckers.
Yeah, let's move on to the other Saturday night game. It was West Coast versus Essendon at Optus Stadium. It was West Coast 11-5-71 to Essendon 11-11-77. It was Essendon by 6 points. West Coast going a bit further than you'd think they are. Don't you reckon, Steelo?
Sorry, mate. I was just finishing up my chip.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I didn't notice.
West Coast, they're doing extremely well at the moment, considering all things considered. So getting a couple of wins for the members.
Just getting close, but not getting it done this week though.
Oh, this week, that was so close. Oh, Essendon, sorry. Yeah, far out. Oh, yeah, well, I mean, put in a gallant performance, West Coast in that case.
No, I reckon they did, because, it was Essendon.
I saw some pretty good highlights out of West Coast game, but, Essendon, they are actually playing pretty well at the moment, and, I think, if you're an Essendon supporter, you definitely upgrading your membership at this point.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it. That's for sure. But look, Langford kicking a bag. Always good. Wait, hang on. Did he? I want to check that. I just assume he did. Yep, 3 goals, 3. Merritt kicking 3 goals, 1. That was pretty surprising.
They had Merritt up forward for this game more than normal too.
Yeah, which annoyed me because I had him for most disposals.
Yeah, Parrish really killed it there, didn't he?
Yeah.
They had a few of the high disposal winners on the ground. Parrish, Martin, Merritt had 29, Martin 32. Yeah, they really played well, Essendon here. I mean, West Coast pushed them hard and made them really earn that win in the end. And it was actually quite a good quality game of footy. So, good win for the Bombers, but really good signs for West Coast. You know, just playing with good intent, playing out 4-quarter games here. And, they don't seem far away again, do they, from just being really competitive week in, week out. And, it was a good game of footy in the end. I mean, Essendon had a bit of a lead early, and then West Coast were able to come back.
Yeah.
And
fair enough.
Do we know how Reid played? I saw him do a couple of good fend-offs, but how did he go?
Well, he got 6 contested possessions, but his disposal efficiency was not very good at all, and he only got 14 disposals.
Yes, and Yo he's injured again.
He's not the second coming of Christ, that's for sure.
No.
Well,
he is in WA, but yeah.
Depends who you ask.
No, he shouldn't be. But yeah, no, it was what a game. I like seeing us get the win, but
like to get some feedback from the Essendon supporters what you think about Merritt going up forward a bit more and sort of playing that role. So get back to us, Essendon supporters, about that, can you?
Look, I'm sure we'll get a comment because I actually want to bring up comments from our YouTube video last week. So we got a comment.
It's almost like we planned that.
Oh, it's almost like we planned, but we didn't plan it. That's weird. Because I haven't pulled up like I'm about to. Alright, so we got a comment by one Julian Slamkovic.
Oh, this guy.
Fan of the show, don't know him outside of the podcast. He's a dedicated fan. Love the support, mate. Alright, and his comment. Jack in the package stringer. Missed a couple of easy ones for sure. Rick speaking the truth with tipping and draws. Draws are great. Home and away games do not require any overtime. If you can't get the win in 3 hours, you don't deserve it. Take the 2 points and deal with it.
You really nailed it, Mr. Parker.
Go Bombers. Please beat the Weagles.
Good work. Good comment. Good comment.
Congratulations, Julian. They beat the Weagles.
It's the comment of the week this week.
That's the comment of the week out of all the comments.
Did we get any from Steele?
I don't know, did we?
He saved them all for being on the pod.
I don't know how to check them on Spotify, alright? I just don't know.
Yeah, I'm a Spotify subscriber, so...
He does the ESPN comments too.
Yeah, look, I want the YouTube comments. That's
true.
I want the
I'll
Bumble comments. That's where we get the most views. So.
See you there, Wheels.
But yeah, comment on the games, guys. All right, well, not much more to say about that. Go Essendon. Got away, survived.
Got the 4 points. That's all you can do, isn't it?
That's it.
Thanks for 4 points in the Kevin Sheedy Cup.
Well, let's move forward to Sunday football at the G. It was Richmond versus Fremantle. Richmond 6-13-49. Fremantle 15-13, 103. Fremantle, sorry, I keep forgetting. Flagmantle by 54 points. Ryan.
Yeah, well, this just showed how bad the Tigers are going, didn't it, really? To Fremantle recording their third biggest win ever at the MCG. So that sort of shows where they're at, doesn't it? And even Nate Fyfe was the sub too. So he had a ripper against the Doggies and he's got put on as a sub.
Yeah, it's good management though.
Yeah, you'd reckon, wouldn't you? He did what he did last week and then have a rest. But I'd say Luke Ryan from the back dominated all day against the Tigers, and you had the normal, Sarong, Brayshaw, and Young as well. All the young Freo midfield just running rings around the old Tigers, mate. So, but yeah, they're just when was it? Tracy, I think was it Tracy kicked 4? Is that right? For Freo? Tracy?
4 goals straight.
Yeah, I don't even reckon I know who he is. Who is this
Tracy.
Never
guy?
heard of him.
Yeah, he's been up
Neither.
forward for a while.
Never heard of him, but yeah, he's come out and But yeah, worrying times for the Tigers after that. I reckon they'd almost have to be putting the queue in the rack, and Freo just going with the flow, winning when they can. Like, you don't really expect them to sort of win at the G against the Tigers, really. Like, you might tip them, but not that confident. So
Yeah.
He's one of Fabs' favourite players, Tracy. He plays a bit like Fabs. He sort of looks like him when he's up forward. He moves through the air like him, has good hands. Good player.
Yeah, it's going to be getting hard for teams to stop this Fremantle midfield too, with the big ruckman in there, Darcy as well. Like, yeah, they just got weapons all around the field, Freo. So
yeah. No, they're really. I haven't picked this with them. I gave them the write off a bit, and I think the last 4 weeks in a row they've scored 100 points, and yeah, they're really on a roll now. So I'm sort of eating my words a little, but good luck to them, and I really hope they keep playing this brand of footy because.
no one really rated their forward line at the start of the year, did they? Like, really?
No, well, I was one.
With Schultz going to the Pies too, and it's like, well, who's going to fill these spots? But
Yeah, well,
but they just keep getting it done somehow, Freo. But
well, with that, I'm just going to add something, then move on. Still haven't beaten the top 8 side. So,
unbelievable.
suck a dick. Alright, moving on to the next game. Western Bulldogs versus Hawthorn at Marvel Stadium. Western Bulldogs 14-7-91 to the Hawks 14-98. This is the reason Rick isn't on this week. And I'm very sorry,
Rick.
Feddo, about my comment just before. I didn't say something like you personally. Yeah. I wasn't a personal jab. It wasn't meant to be rude. But yeah, what do you reckon?
You're better than this, Rick.
Sorry?
I said you're better than this, Rick.
Yeah, you're better than this. You're better than this. Better than all of this. No. I will say he was not going to be on this week regardless. So
Look, we're all a bit in shock about this one, aren't we? But
yeah, this one was not a good one. This is not a good omen for the Western Bulldog Football Club.
they came out of the barrel so hot too. The Dogs. They kicked the first 3 goals of the game before you could even make a cup of tea. And you're sitting there thinking, alright, well, they'll probably get this one over and done with.
We'll probably get this one.
Looked like it was going to be a 100-point flogging.
Oh, didn't it? I recall being quite excited early. I really wanted the tip. But, and then it just, Hawthorn's pressure all day was relentless. And the fact they kept themselves in it really gave them a sniff. And hats off to them in the end.
Yeah, they could have been further ahead.
They could have. They had 28 scoring shots on the day. With at least, I think they had close to 50 inside 50s. So, they really just hammered the ball in there across the day.
49-48 inside 50s.
And,
Bye, Bevo.
and they have 21 scoring shots from 48 entries for the Dogs. Come on, with that forward line you've got,
Yeah, and Hawks were missing Chol and Mitchell too. Like, no forwards, man.
Like, what are you doing to have 21 scoring shots with 48 inside 50s against that team? You should be able to have 30 plus looks at goal. Very average day from the Dogs, and they got what they deserved in the end. I feel they, a little bit beaten up there. The Hawks too, with Sicily down and. Able to stay out there and go forward and actually kick the match-winning goal.
Yeah, how good was that?
Yeah, there's a lot of moments in the game, wasn't there? But it just got away from the Dogs, and whether they got out-coached or they just genuinely slipped up against a team that, is pretty hungry and really wants to have some wins this year. It cost them, didn't it?
Yeah, well, let's... do you want to touch on Coach Watch? Now's the time.
Well, look, Coach Watch this week. It's been fired down at the kennel, and last week we gave a little swinging straight to the Brizzy, and they came back and fired this week, so it was good to see. But the kennel, you know, like I was down and I saw Ross the Boss this week and we had a cuppa and he just pointed a few darts at a few people and he said, you know, if the dogs happen to lose to Hawthorn, you know, watch out to Bevo. And look what's happened. And this week in the media, a lot of axes have come for him. And you just hate to see another result or two in the next week or two not go the dog's way. Because, geez, he's hanging on thin ice at the moment, isn't he? And the club have backed him in. And they still say that regardless, they're going to finish out the contract. So, you know, they'll probably stick with their path. But, geez, he'd want to get a few more results without starting to look like he might be a hunted man if they're hanging out the 8. Because they've said this year we will make the 8. Not making the 8
it's hard
is a massive fail for the club.
It's hard for the doggies. You know, they've got a coach that, you know, they've got a pretty new side, but he's also taken them to 2 grand finals, 1 winning and 1 losing in the last 6 years, you know, so...
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah, but I'd say time's up. Well, look, we'll see, because...
Might be the last
this
8
week,
years
Richmond, but then GWS, Sydney, and Collingwood all in a row. So it's like, oof, yikes.
Yeah. So we'll judge him in the next few weeks. But at the moment, I mean, yeah, it's just not a good. It's not a good period for him, and it's been a while. And to hear a lot of Bulldogs fans on the radio ringing up today saying they've had a gutful and they've had enough, when they traditionally just stand there and back in their man all the time. So yeah,
it's pretty common. It's pretty common for a premiership coach to sort of hang around for about 8 to 10 years after a flag, isn't it?
Yeah.
Change can be a good thing though. Like he got it. What did he take him to a flag in his first year? Didn't he? Or first or second year?
Not first year. Second.
Who's that?
Year.
Bevo when he took them to a flag in 2016.
Might have been his second year, I reckon.
Second year, so
Second or
sometimes
third.
the change is a good thing, and I definitely know, like with the Lions, I'd love to see a change up there.
Well, we might get to that.
The coach watch will start heating up the next few weeks, I feel, but the rumblings have come out.
It was good to see young Deere running around for his first game for the Hawkies too.
Yeah, didn't he do well too? Took a couple of good marks and kicked a goal. Was it 2 goals or 1 goal? Played very well.
I think.
The crowd got around him.
You know, he's old man won a Norm Smith for the Hawkers too, so good on the family tradition to keep going.
Yeah.
But what's bit concerning times for Libba though.
I know. Well, I mean, geez, you can never know about people retiring out of the blue these days now, do you? But geez, how's the way he's going with his collapsed a few weeks ago, and now he can't get through another game and.
Yeah, so he's collapsed, and then in the last 2 or 3 games he's been concussed, but then out of the last 10 games he's been concussed 3 times.
Yeah.
If you include last year's last game.
Well, I've had it on good authority from Mr. Trip P. Parker. That is not the case.
No, it's definitely not.
I think he's going to be rested for quite a while. I think the club's going to rest him for a while.
Yeah, he said he'll be back fine. He'll be fine. But, hey, we'll see. Anything could happen.
The Bont tried it. The Bont tried all day for the doggies too.
No, didn't he?
One man can't do it all.
No.
But yeah. Alright, well, Paul Ricker, let's move on.
One man can do it all.
One man can do it all?
Yeah.
Well.
No, carry on with the next game.
Alright, fair enough. Brisbane versus Gold Coast at the Gabba. Brisbane 10-19-79 to Gold Coast 6-9-45. Brisbane by 34 points. Mr. Man of Steel.
One man can do it all.
We've done it again.
Please, monologue for a bit.
Oh, they're going to get my heart's broken again, probably. My heart broken again this year, the Lions. So, just when you think we're going to hand it all in, we've got another win. We've kept the members. So, you know, oh, geez. I don't know. It's up and down. It's such a roller coaster at the moment.
Absolutely.
We play like we did on the weekend. You know, everything is right in the world.
Yeah. Ryan from All for Footy, yes?
Yeah, I've just got a question for Steelo. How's it feel being on the pod after getting the W, mate?
Fantastic, mate. It's the only way, isn't it?
It's the only time. That's the only way he does it. That's for sure.
It's a big W.
You came
Well
up.
done, mate. Well done.
Oh no, it was
done,
great performance. Like the debutant as well, Cooper. There was lots going on. Like we had so many. There was a last minute pullout of Answorth, and then Cooper's got the call up, the debutant, and he's already he's doubling up. He's already played in the NAFL or the VFL now, and he's come up and got the call up last minute while he was on the highway, just eating some Maccas, I think. And,
As you do.
Yeah, he's had to double back to the Gabba and get it done for his first ever game.
And I think he was wearing Ashcroft's boots too, which were 2 sizes too big, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's it. So just far out. There was some scenes up there at the Gabba, but you might have had a different set of boots in the end after a few players went down, so he might have borrowed theirs.
Take his pick.
But yeah, like brilliant performance by the guys, and they just had a strong brotherhood, came together and got the job done in the Q clash. So
big
strong
win
rivalry.
too, with all
Like,
the
Battle for the Q Bridge.
Zorko stepped up, almost had. We had 35 kicks in the end, which was I think equal first with the most kicks this century in a game.
Wow.
Just kicks, no handballs. So
This century or ever?
this century, I believe.
So it's okay.
Yeah, someone back in the day is just, if you had 36, you would have been right up there.
Oh.
But just one away in the end. But yeah, just like Zorko with the history in the Q clash, just put in a huge performance, and with all the other guys going down, so showing some resilience and like the ex-captain showing that he still has it.
Absolutely. And I just want to add, even though Gold Coast got handily beaten, the better King kicked 3 goals straight.
Always contributes well, Ben King.
So much better.
So much better. How many goals did Max King kick this week again?
They keep one.
Oh. And the Saints won, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. It's awkward, Jeez. Alright, well, with that, we shall move on to this week's tipping results. And this gets a bit better for you, Mr. Daniel Raby.
What? How many did I get this week? I didn't.
Oh, you don't even know.
I just wait till I catch up with you guys on Awful Footy. to find out.
week for the team.
I don't think you. I think you're lying. I think you're lying. I think you know that you got 8 out of 9 this
Oh,
week.
and the bloody doggies let me down,
The
didn't
doggies, all the games, fucking doggies and Hawks. Are you kidding me?
they? Just like last year when they lost to the Hawks.
Yeah, well, look, that propelled you ahead, and now you're sitting on top of the tipping results, tipping ladder.
Well done, mate. Well done.
But yeah, look, there was a few little move-arounds this week. It was Molian is still number 5 at 49, and then Jamie's at 50, and then my dad is at 50,
Oh, Rob.
and then I am on 50.
All on 50.
And then Mr. Daniel Raby is on 50. So, but yeah, I'm coming second. Raby's coming first. We're moving up in the world, Mr. Raby.
Okay, thank you.
But
Hey,
next
get the
week you'll
tipping
be going
advice from
down.
these guys.
Sorry?
I said, get the tipping advice from the Awful Footy community guys out
There
there.
we go. Hey, Mr. Fenno, you're not doing too bad either, alright? You're coming 7th.
And if you had to tip your own team a few more times this year,
I'd be winning. It's obvious.
He tipped Melbourne last week, so
Yeah,
that was a good one.
except
That was a
for
good one. Alright, so yeah, no, Wheels are just shy of the top 5, coming in at 7. And Steelo, 14. You got 4 this week. Nothing to be ashamed of. It was a tough week. It really was. We got
But Steelo was up the top a couple of weeks ago, wasn't he?
He was, and I think he forgot to put his tips in a couple of times.
Oh,
The away teams.
Rookie move. But I just want to say, BT the Bull got 2 right this week.
2?
And, yeah, and he put in his tips.
how many did Rick get?
Oh, Rick got 5.
Oh, okay. Because I remember doing a few opposite to Rick at the start of the round.
Yeah, well, you got 8. Like, you did well. And yeah, look, I just got 6, but I'm happy. I'm tied first. I'm right up there in the comp.
Well, this will be a big week of tips then, won't it?
That's it. And well, with that, let's move on.
Where'd my glass go?
All right, starting with Thursday night football at the G, Carlton versus Melbourne. Brady, who do you have?
Oh, wow. This one's very interesting for friend trainedness. It was well and truly placed on the friend train last week. But I just got a sneaking suspicion that Carlton are going to be pretty hard and physical this week.
Yeah, my friend.
Melbourne coming off a tough game last week, I reckon it might just be the Blues that get up this Thursday night.
You know, my friend.
Friday night.
Thursday night.
Thursday night it is.
Another work night. Another work night. They've given us so many Thursday nights. But anyway, so you're going for Carlton?
I am.
CeeLo, who you got?
Oh, it can be a great game. I'll probably roll down. Okay. I reckon the D's will probably get it done.
There we go. Let's go Melbourne. Let's all get on the friend train together.
Yeah, on the friend train for Big Joshy.
Oh, not me.
And Big Nate Dog as well.
That's me.
Mostly Joshy.
Oh.
Just joking.
Who do you have?
Good old Gubba.
Stop staring at the camera. Who do you have?
Oh, did you say me?
Yes.
Oh, the D's can get stuff, so I'm tipping the Blues.
Well, we're not making the top 5 this week, that's for sure. Alright, I'm going D's. D's on a roll. Come on, we just took down... We've beaten a number of top 8 sides, and we're going to be rolling on forward to the finals. We're going to get some W's. Might get a couple of losses along the way, but we'll get some W's.
What a battle! What a battle though between the two towers and the two backmans though. Ooh.
This will be a battle if it gets down there enough. But hey, our midfield's pretty good sometimes. So wasn't the best last week, but hopefully this week we can run rings around Carlton because no top 8 sides. So that'd be a pretty big thing for them. I don't even know if that's true at this point. I'm just saying it. Alright, Friday night football at the GMHBA Stadium is Geelong versus Port Adelaide. Reeby.
Oh, I'm keeping it simple here. Cats at home.
Cats at home. Steeler.
Yeah, very hard to tip against the Cats in this one at home, I think, for me.
Yeah. Wheels?
Yeah, I'm going to change my theory how I've been tipping.
Didn't work last week.
No, yeah, I'm going to have to change my ways because we lost. So I'm going to try and boost the boys back up.
Yeah,
and
get on them.
Tipping the Cats this week, but I'm definitely not confident.
Oh, well, there you go.
No, get on them. They're a good thing.
Port have a pretty good record down at the Caddies, but I'm tipping the Cats.
Yeah, look, I'm on the good friend train, even though you hate me and my football team. I'm
Absolutely.
still on the good friend train. I'm going Geelong. I'm back in Geelong.
Yeah.
They've just had one loss to the flag contenders, and that's about it.
Right.
So, and they've beaten top 8 sides.
Go the Caddies.
Go Cats.
At home, at the Cattery.
Yeah, at the Cattery, right in front of a home. Port Adelaide, far from home. In a strange land, surrounded by strangers. They're going to get trounced.
It's sort of not the furthest from home because if you travel from Adelaide, you come through the west and you come through Geelong to get to Melbourne. So you'd actually get to Geelong an hour before you would get to Melbourne. So it's sort of like it's like far, but it's
still pretty far.
Yeah,
You'd get off at Avalon, wouldn't you?
yeah. I'm saying if you're driving though.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
driving not through Warrnambool and Colac.
Yeah, but it'd be like because you're on the west side.
That's a drive. That is a massive drive. But yeah. Alright, well, let's move on to the next game. It is Fremantle versus Sydney at Optus Stadium. Reeby.
Well, another Friday night game here. We have back-to-back Friday night games because of Mother's Day, and they're squeezing an extra game in early so that the Sunday isn't as congested this week. But
silly.
we have a very good matchup again, don't we? With the form sides of the competition, you'd almost say, matching up here. I mean, I've just been tipping. I've been on the Sydney train all year, and they've been doing me very well. You almost feel like they're due a stumble, and if anyone could get them, it could be Freo at home. But I'm just going to tip Sydney Because I just think they're doing enough to be able to maybe quell Freo's play here. And Sydney, they're doing it week in, week out at the moment, and their natural game style could just get too much for Freo here. So I reckon, although Freo had one eye on this week, with Fife having an easy game last week, and they'll be right up for the challenge. It just could be a little bit too far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably can't tip Freo just yet. I'm going to have to go with the Swannies in this one. And if Freo get it done, like, credit to them, and then there'll be one to watch. It's going to be a great game. So looking forward to it.
Wheels.
Yeah, it is one of those ones where you wouldn't be surprised if Freo won just like they did against Brizzy at the start of the year. But they're so hot and cold still, I reckon. But yeah, I'm just going to tip Sydney, but I'll be keeping an eye on the ins and outs for this game, I reckon.
Okay.
No, McCartan's a big out.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm just going to back Sydney because this is Freo's first real challenge.
Yeah.
And they're terrible. They're terrible. They're not going to make the 8. They're not going to stay in the 8. They're terrible. Anyway. Moving on to the next game. It is Hawthorn versus St Kilda at the University of Tasmania. Reeby.
Now, this is a game of footy. You got the form side of Hawthorn, who have beaten off the side of the doggies, who beat St Kilda. Don't forget, the doggies beat St Kilda by 10 goals. And then you've got Hawthorn, who just beat the doggies. So you really lean towards Hawthorn in that thing. But I'm going to tip St Kilda here. Go out on a bit of a limb.
Surprise.
Oh, he's on a limb, boys.
Yes, I just think we need the win. And be interesting to see how we play. But Tassie in Hawthorn in Tassie.
Tassie, always hard to stop.
It's a big factor, the Tassie thing with this game. So
have the Saints played down there before?
We have played down there numerous times. My most favourite counter was the one in 2005 against Fremantle called Siren Gate. That was my most favourite Tassie game. But apart from that, we played a couple of good ones. We actually beat Hawthorn down there by 80 points about 3 years ago. So numerous games down there. But, Hawks at the moment with a bit of spirit. But, I think the Saints will be too good. 15 plus points, I'll say.
No, fair enough. Steelo.
Oh, it's going to be very interesting. I think I might just have to jump aboard the friend train here. Tip the Saints, at least while I'm on air.
And I'm going to just quickly put it out there.
He's going to forget to put his tips in, I bet you. But that's still tipping
We're watching you, Steele. We're watching you.
Max King, the better king.
No. He's the lesser king.
No, but because his name is Max.
It stands for micro.
No, it's Max.
He's the micro.
So which is like even better than B for best. B is like
it's just for better.
I know he's got
Max is like tops. Like you've maxed out, and he could kick up to 6 to 8 goals this week. You heard it here first.
If you say so.
You want to have a better beard than his brother too. Because I know he's winning that battle.
Alright, you two both have tipped Saints. Wheels, who you got?
Saints Footy,
really?
Beyond display.
Seems like we're all going to be on the friend train, but Hawthorn could very easily do this. I do see Hawthorn winning this one. I reckon they can do it. I'm sorry to say, Daniel, but there's been some troubles. There's been some troubles in the land of the Saints. Yeah, no, stop doing that.
What is that rubbish that he's got in his hands?
I don't know, he's doing some nonsense. Anyway, moving on to the next game.
Looks like Pee and Poo.
It looks like Pee and Poo, exactly. It looks like toilet paper. Alright, moving on to the next game. Essendon versus the GWS at Marvel Stadium. Reeby.
I am comfortably tipping the Giants here.
Yep, fair enough. Steelo.
Yep, some big giant steps all over the Eagles. I think we'll back in GWS comfortably.
Yep, Giants thumping the Bombers. What do you reckon, Wheels?
I reckon this is going to be one of those games where the Bombers just come out and smash the Giants, to be honest.
Oh.
Well, it's at Marvel. I reckon
at
they'll
Marvel.
play real well like they did against the Saners and all that. Going the Bombers, actually. Bit of a roughie.
Tipping the Bombers.
They
Yeah,
could do
I
it.
just
They're
reckon-
not far off GWS on the ladder. You know, they're in form. They're getting some. They're playing some alright footy.
You know, you had that guy get the 3 weeks for, you know, the Giants that did the bump, and then you
Tom
got
Green's
Green
out
now.
for the year.
There's a few little loopholes, but you know, just reckon the Bombers will just play that home deck and just outrun them a bit. Just quick footy.
Yeah, look, I'm going with my heart with this one. I'm on my friend train. Essendon, let's go.
Oh,
Big Jack Stringer. He's going to be kicking some goals. Don't you worry.
Jack the Giant Beanstalk.
Jack the Giant Beanstalk. Alright. Moving on to the next game. It is Richmond versus Doggies at the MCG Saturday Night Football, Reeby.
Well, doesn't this place us with a nice predicament? I recall sitting here last week having great trepidation about tipping the Dogs.
Same.
I
It's a game they should have won as well.
I looked around and Parker was very upset, stating how he just jumped on the friend train, making me change my tip. So I then did.
Well, no, he didn't jump on. He refuses to jump on any train.
But
He walks.
I mean, this week, I just think I have to stay on the friend train one more time. I mean, they're playing Richmond, who have been quite low as well.
Yeah.
Maybe lower than Hawthorn.
One win.
And, I just think if the Dogs can't answer, which they have done this year a couple of times, they've had a few average efforts and they've always answered back a bit. They're playing Richmond. I mean, you're going to have to think that the Dogs get this done. And if they don't, I mean, then there's real alarm bells. I mean, surely they can find a way to just play their brand of footy and put a score on the board. I mean,
Get those 4 points.
they're not far away from it either, from just really clicking. So, it'd be interesting to see who Wheels tips in this game, though.
Yeah, but we're going to Steelo first.
Yeah,
Steelo.
but I can get through that.
I would say Dogs by 5 goals, I reckon.
Yeah, there we go. Wheels.
the Dogs have to do this, don't they? They just have to do this to bring their season back on track. So,
They have to.
come on,
I'm going
Dogs.
as well. Richmond are in a bad way. And they got that one fluky win, as far as I'm concerned, against Sydney. And that's about it. All right, next, the other Saturday night game. It was Gold Coast versus North Melbourne. Reevy, who you got? Oh, at TO Stadium. Reevy, who you got?
Gold Coast versus
North Melbourne.
North Melbourne. Sorry, I thought you said Melbourne for a second.
Nope.
All right. Well,
I did technically.
I'm going to stick with my rule of thumb that Gold Coast don't lose at home. So far, my stat has been proven not to be broken. They haven't lost at home, but they haven't won away, and it shall carry on.
They're not at home.
Yeah, it's not at home. TO Stadium?
Oh, it's a Darwin.
It is a home game, but it's a
Okay. Well, I'm still going to give them the rule here because it's their home game. So they've obviously sold one off, but I think they'll get the biggies.
Yeah, Ryan. All right, Steeler, who you got?
Which teams are
Gold
there?
Coast, North Melbourne.
Yeah, thanks, mate. We'll edit that one out.
I'm keeping that.
I reckon we're going Gold Coast here comfortably.
Yeah.
And where's the game being played, Stiller?
But what is the name? What's the spelling of the game?
T-I-O.
TIO. Okay, and that is that Northern Territory?
Yeah.
Oh,
pretty sure
so
it's
you
not.
knew that, but you didn't know who was playing.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
There's a few different ground names this year. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, no, TIO's been around for a while. Melbourne played a few home games there in the past.
Mm-hmm. Gold Coast mix it up a lot as well. They're like probably one of the teams that plays on the most different grounds, I think, this year.
Oh, okay. Wheels, who you got?
Yep. And Daniel, the Suns actually do have a good record at TIO Stadium as well, mate. So you're onto that. Yeah, they've won some big games there the last couple of years, so they're actually building a little empire up there too, mate. So go the Suns.
Yeah, Matty Brown will bring his towel. And the
Yeah,
better
yeah.
King will get a bag. We'll kick more goals than Max King.
Oh, it'll be good this weekend. Go Maxi.
We'll see.
Oh, both matches against the bottom sides.
Oh, there we go. All right, now Sunday football, Mother's Day. Sunday football at Marvel Stadium, Collingwood versus West Coast. Do we really need to stay on this one too long?
Collingwood.
No, Collingwood.
Yep. Collingwood. Wheels.
West Coast. Nah, just.
Get out.
I was doing that for Rick. I was doing that for Rick.
Yeah.
They've historically had some good games though. West Coast have always played a bit better against the Pies, but yeah, this time could be a bit out of reach, I think.
Yeah. Well,
And my check's out too, isn't he?
yeah, but that doesn't really matter.
Really?
Yeah, it's great.
Not against this mob.
He did his
Made
homie,
me stay
didn't he?
back a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to go the Pies, but it'll be just interesting how it goes. Keep an eye on
It
it.
will be interesting how it goes. I mean,
Yeah. Look, I just.
I wouldn't be
I don't
surprised
think
if
so.
West Coast are in it for periods. You know, maybe only down by a handful of goals.
Maybe
at
get the
half-time.
jump in the first quarter, and then Collingwood just run over the top of them.
Surely they get going.
Yeah. All right, now the last game of the round is Adelaide versus Brisbane at Adelaide Oval. Reeby, who you got?
Gonna have to tip the home side here. I mean, the first two sides in chronological order of the AFL, and I just feel like, how could you go past Adelaide when they're just, they're playing well at home, and Brizzy a little bit beaten up with the 4 blokes going off last week, which means there's going to be a little bit of change, travelling, just a bit of unsettledness, and playing last Sunday night into this Sunday night. I just feel like it's going to be tough. Adelaide seeming a bit settled. They're going to be coming in off of close to a 10-day break at home. And, it could just be the edge they need just to get over. But Brizzy, I mean, they're going to go over there and give it a bloody red-hot crack. But, I just think the inches might go Adelaide's way.
Yep, still.
Well, a good break too. Like from Thursday night footy at home in the showdown to Sunday night against Brizzy. So a hard-earned break for them, I suppose. Though.
Steelo, who you got?
Oh, it's going to be a hard task for the Lions to go down there. We're going to, really show if we want to hang on, and if we're going to be premiership contenders or even get to the finals at this point, then this is one of the games where we have to win. So,
Have to.
it's going to be hard. I'll probably be back in the Lions as usual, and just hope that they come out and perform.
Can't go with your heart every time, but Wheels, who you got?
Yeah, sorry, Steelo, but I'm tipping the home side as well, the Crows. But I won't be surprised if they're right in it as well, the Lions, man. They got, they are a good side,
They
but
were in the grand final last year.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, just heading towards Adelaide at the moment, mate. But could change.
Yeah, well, I'm back in Brisbane.
Back in them.
Adelaide aren't shit. I'm on the good friend train. Steelo, I'm with you, buddy. With you.
Thank you, Nate Dog.
There we go.
He's just trying to get you back on.
Solidarity with my brothers. All right, well,
That's what he did with Rick until D's beat doggies in a granny.
Yeah, he did it with me too.
Yeah.
how dare you spread lies and misinformation. All right, well, let's move on to closing thoughts. Daniel, what do you got for us?
Oh, look, I traditionally don't have much prepared for my closing thoughts, but
I know.
today, it's just driving down the wetlands path off to the golf in my single-seater golf cart, and I just thought, those people out there, if you're in the market to buy a golf cart, don't buy a 2-seater, buy a single-seater. You're not as invested to look for other people's golf ball because they're not sitting in the cart with you with their clubs, and they feel like, well, we've got to go look for my ball too. No, you're just on your own. It's like you're walking, but you're in your own golf cart. You know what I mean? And
That's exactly what it's like.
it's a mobility scooter. It's not a golf cart, so you can drive it off the road, out of the golf course and home. And there's just many more perks to having a single-seater golf cart over a double-seater. So if you're in the market for a golf cart, think single-seat.
Yeah. Steelo.
Oh, I'm just thinking for my closing thoughts this week, if you're a coach in the lower leagues, like say the SFNL or anything like that, then stay on your toes, because if you put in a good last-ditch effort this year and finish strong, well, you could very well be in with an AFL position next year.
Ooh, next year?
There's going to be a lot of coach swaps.
Wow. I reckon I'll be
And-
scraping
wow.
that far.
That's right.
Oh well, look, Bevo's done it, so
True.
he's done the transition. So
Did come from some beads, though, not
Yes,
from
yeah,
SNFL.
no, but that's it. So put your best foot forward and build a nice resume, and then I reckon apply for a couple positions.
That's
Wow.
it. Ryan, those are thoughts.
Yeah. I've got the Oz kick on the Friday night again down at Currumbin Lions. And the Currumbin Lions have won 4 straight, so they're going good. And then straight after that, watch the footy. The Cats playing Friday night, so that'll be my eyes will be on that. That day, I might just take it pretty easy, just do stuff around the house, and then Sunday's the Mother's Day, isn't it? So probably get out, have some brekkie with the kids, and take it easy, and it'll be a nice weekend. And also, only a couple of weeks away from the Wheels of Fortune, fellas. So it's going to be
Here we go.
Oh, it's going to be a game we're all going to be playing.
Big stuff.
Pod members, ex-pod members, and all listeners. So tune in for that soon, guys.
And so we pick who's not going to make the 8.
Oh, we'll talk about that.
No, but we've got to start spreading the word. You've got to pick who's not making the 8 1 week at a time from the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah.
So every person, it's going to be every person. It's the last man standing, or woman, or human, whatever they call it these days.
Person.
And each week, we'll keep talking about it.
Yeah, and so every week you got to pick your certainty. So you'll start off with who you, until it gets to a week before finals.
Yeah.
It should go all the way to the grand final day if you're still in it.
And then we do finals. Yeah, so it's knockout through finals.
Yeah, well, that's it. And, can't wait to start that. Move ahead with that with our community. That'd be good. All right, my closing thoughts. Guys, the world of hip-hop is blowing up right now. My God. The Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef. Oh, my God. It is so good. Kendrick Lamar has just recently murdered Drake. His body will not be found.
Bigger than Ginnivan versus the umpires.
It is bigger than that. You have no idea what I'm talking about because you're out of touch with the youth.
I'm hip with it.
And the times. Me and Steelo, we know about it. We know all about it.
That's my dog.
Yeah, but yeah, no, definitely I advise people to go out and listen to those diss tracks that are back and forth, and then watch some YouTube videos breaking down the war, breaking down what they've been saying to each other. Because it's been quite insane. It has been insane. You have no idea.
Or something, Nathan?
He's been attacking his family. He brought up like a fucking, apparently exposed a daughter that nobody knew this guy had. And apparently, Steelo, back me up. Like,
it's
how
so
insane
good.
is it?
It's so entertaining at the moment. It's the best thing that's happened in hip hop for ages. So
it's
some
definitely
great entertainment.
I'm sure our kids will fill us in on it, Wheels?
Bit volatile though, bit dangerous, but
it's very dangerous.
But just super entertaining at the moment. So if you're a hip hop head, you're in for a good one.
Are you going to be doing any? Is Bruce going to be doing any streaming, Nathan?
Yeah, my brother Bruce Rando is going to be doing some streaming Sunday morning over on his YouTube channel, Bruce Rando. Go jump over there, give him a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff.
There's a buddy behind you.
Jump in the chat.
That's Bruce.
Yeah, no, it's very, very out of touch.
Bruce.
Very outdated reference. Thank you for
Big wheels keep on turning.
But yeah, no, that's about it.
Boys in here keep on burning.
From us at All for Footy, and we're out.